Hello folks, welcome back to my channel. Third offering of my India series. In this video, we're going to explore St Jerome Fort in Nani Daman, one of the major tourist attractions. Also a little tour of Daman Jetty, known as Chopati. Visit some street food stores, my old primary school site, and an old Portuguese era valley or mansion. This is Char Rasta, crossroads near Daman Market. A few interesting shots around the area. One in particular of a street sign named 2nd of February Street, the day Daman was annexed into the Portuguese colony. This, guys, is St Jerome Fort, built by the Portuguese. The foundations were laid in 1614 and works completed in 1672 AD, an astounding 58 years to its completion, although most of the work was completed by 1627. Lots of memories of my childhood here. Its chief engineer was Julio Simao. At its peak, it housed 681 residents, including some 400 army personnel. These gates are newly renovated. I remember the original gates, which were similar in construction. These large iron spikes you see on them were meant to be deterrent to elephants, which were used widely and trained to knock down these gates. If any such attempts were made, these spikes would pierce the elephant's skull. History has it that the Portuguese captain, Major Diego de Melo, arrived at the Daman shore by chance in 1523. He was caught in a violent storm and had his boat blown towards the coast of Daman. At that point, Daman was part of the Gujarat Sultanate under the Muzaffarid dynasty and was conquered from the Sultan of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah, by the Portuguese on 2nd of February 1559. This, guys, is Nani Daman Fort of St Jerome from the inside. This is the Church of Our Lady of the Sea, constructed in 1901, fairly new in comparison to the fort. Unfortunately, it was closed, so could not explore the interior. Hodie mihi cras tibi, written in Latin, means today me, tomorrow you, mate. Some of these graves here are centuries old. A beautiful sunset view from the top of the fort. That's Moti Daman on the horizon, the river Damanganga dividing the two sides of Daman.
those little cubby holes they see, they are actually shooting points where the Portuguese will point the rifles there and shoot down. You can see this will enable them to shoot at the enemy while being protected by the walls. And from what research I've done, it appears that these fortifications were built to withhold the Mughal armies to fight the Mughals.
This fort was also used to carry out executions before capital punishment was abolished within the Portuguese territories in 1870. And from what stories I've had as a child, a little note, my parents actually grew up in Portuguese Daman, then known as Daman. And from what stories have told me, this was the place where they were carried out. I must say this place still has a spooky feeling about it. Felt like I didn't want to hang around here for too long. These white cemented parts that you see here are restoration works carried out by the Daman Tourism Department. That in the distance is Moti Daman Lighthouse. On the left of it is a small original white structure. That is the Portuguese Era lighthouse. It was a regular hangout for me and my mates after school, where we would go exploring the many tunnels and caves in the area. This is the Chopati area, also known as Daman Jetty, with its various street food stalls. I'm going to check out one of these famous egg-rolled meals on wheels.
भाई साहब ठीक हो? This is the egg roll, guys. There on Daman Jetty. कितने का होता है भाई जान?
ये 30 रुपये का 30 रुपये का अंडा रोल सब अलग अलग है अंडा रोल है चिकन भी है सब अलग अलग आएगा
Oh, fantastic. So there is 30 rupees, which comes around 30p. That's unreal. 30p for an egg roll. You can get 3 for a pound.
इसमें इसका ऊपर चिकन आएगा तो एक चिकन रोल हो जाएगा
All right, fantastic.
चिकन आएगा रोल आएगा
I would love to do a Mark Queen's. Daman Famous Roll. This shop is called Daman Famous Roll. घनी बार खाओ छो यहाँ?
ना सेकंड टाइम
Second time. All right. Okay. तो क्या तुम दमन ना छो?
सिल्वर
सिल्वर से आए हो छो? All right. Fantastic, fantastic, brilliant. Anyway, enjoy your meal, guys. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Daman Jetty is not as vibrant and busy as it used to be, possibly because of all the construction that's going on in the area, or maybe it's too early. This is where I took my year 1 and year 2 education. The main school building was on the left of it. Extension of Our Lady of Fatima Convent, which is in Mortidam. A few distinct memories here. One notably was me running away from school straight back home, as it was Muharram, a festival, and Mum forced me to go to school on that day. I wouldn't have it. I must have been around 7 years old, I guess. This is an old Portuguese era haveli or mansion, sadly in ruins now. I remember it also being used as a state school. Beautiful architecture and design. I wish the Daman tourism authorities would restore it. It's quite unique and could generate interest as a tourist attraction, also preserving a legacy from Daman's past. Two distinct styles of design. The bottom part seems to be solid and sturdy, while the top part seems to be made entirely of wood. Beautiful, intricate design with iron railings, with almost French-style high windows. If anyone knows more about this building, please leave a comment. We'd be very interested in knowing about its past. Moved out of my brother's apartment as could not cope with the traffic noise. It's incessant. The blaring of horns kept me awake all night. His apartment is right next to a busy road. I suppose you could get used to the noise after a period of time, but unfortunately in my case, it would be time to go back by that time. Cost around 2,600 rupees per night, with breakfast included, which comes to around 26 pounds, which is reasonable. In fact, great value. Rooms are clean and quite spacious. I opted for deluxe room. You can also get a single occupancy room for 1,600 rupees, which comes to around 60 pounds. But that's quite tiny compared to the deluxe one. There's also a restaurant downstairs where breakfast is served and is also open all day long for members of the public and hotel guests. It's called Hotel Emerald, and I would definitely recommend it. That's it, folks. In the next episode, a visit to Daman Municipality Council building with its 400 years old surviving Portuguese furniture. A few snapshots from the past, meeting up with a few old friends and councillors, amongst them the president of Daman Municipality Council, sampling out some of Daman's food and drinks, a surprise visit to my friend who I haven't seen in 16 years, and a trip to the Vegas of Daman Devka Beach. Please subscribe, like and share if you enjoyed this video, which will encourage me to carry on with this journey. Please also leave your comments on what you enjoyed best in this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.